Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. They mean the world to me. They help support the channel greatly. If you're interested in supporting the channel in different ways, the many different ways you can do that is located in the video description in the drop-down menu below the video on YouTube. Please check that out, depending on where you're watching this from. If you're seeing it posted on somewhere other than YouTube, please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and read the video description. In there is how to get a hold of me, how to book a private reading. All of that information is there. And also some things to think about when watching my videos, because they are broad spectrum. They're intended for all signs every day, and they're to be used not only for the day that they were originally created, but for whenever you're kind of seeing them, right? So this video is originally created for Wednesday, the 14th of April, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you can only utilize it on that date. If you're seeing it on a date that is different than that date, that's fine. You might be ready for this message at the time that you're seeing it versus when it was originally created for. I trust all of that. So let's get into these cards and see what they have to say today. We've been having some really interesting cards this week, so I'm kind of interested to see what's going to happen today. Okay. Wow, still major arcana. Very busy week, guys. So this is card number 9 of the major arcana. This is the Hermit. This is definitely Virgo energy, earthbound energy. Underneath this, if we're hitting that midweek card from Sunday, which was the Devil, this would also blend with that Capricornian devil energy. The Hermit, I feel like, is us taking, when I think about the contrast between the devil energy that we might have underpinning this, and then the Hermit as the energy of the day for today, we may be sort of being asked to get quiet, sit still, look at some things that might within ourselves make us a little bit uncomfortable, i.e. that devil energy, right? Places where we may feel like we're failing ourselves, or where people annoy us, or where our buttons get pushed. The Hermit is here to show us where those buttons are, but in a sort of spiritually oriented, peaceful, balanced, calm way. Yesterday we saw that Star card, which would also indicate more of that peace, balance, spiritual connectedness, but more to the outside world, where today is about connecting to ourselves from within, right? Trusting that we may see or feel things today that make us a little bit uncomfortable, and they will be surrounding maybe ourselves and how we react to things. But ultimately, what I love about this is if we sit still in the darkness, or sit still in the feelings, in the emotions, in the, whatever it is we're looking at about ourselves, the Hermit will educate us. He will help us to understand a little bit more about who we are and why we operate the way that we do. Not everything is always bad. Sometimes there's justifiable reasons for why we may react, in a way that isn't necessarily our highest behavior, right? The Hermit helps us to understand that. I feel like also the Hermit, especially with yesterday's Star card too, the Hermit can help us to understand, and accept our frailties and the spiritual power that comes from that, the awareness and the light that begins to shine from within that as we stop running from it and sort of sit with it, face it, embrace it even, accept it for what it is, and allow it to just be, right? We don't have to change it. We just need to acknowledge it and then sort of work within it. And it sort of will change on its own, right? As needed, as long as we're sort of seeking our own highest good. The Hermit is definitely internal, not listening to others' voices or opinions, and not meaning that in a bad way, just in a way where we're listening to hopefully our own spiritually centered voice as best we can and following that path versus what maybe society, our friends, our loved ones are telling us we should do. The Hermit is not about necessarily shoulding on ourselves. It's about kind of this more of a knowing from within as to which way to go, what decision to make, which way to behave. And it would be with him brings, or her, actually, this looks like this is a female hermit, which I love that. With her, uh, there comes an intelligence, an awareness, a growth, an acceptance. These are all things that we may want to like focus on and think about today. She sits in this darkness, right? Because she's ultimately, having to find her own light. And I kind of feel like the darkness of this card could be that sort of devil energy that is around us where, we might find ourselves in a situation that's not the easiest to deal with, or have been dealing with a situation that maybe doesn't necessarily make us our most happiest. But this is about seeking a higher, more evolved, either perception, relation, or interaction with said situation that teaches us about ourselves and ultimately kind of frees us. It allows us to sort of walk our path within our own light, not dependent upon anybody else for their opinions or validations. I hope that makes sense. Let's see what this card, the Lightworker Oracle is. So we have Cosmic Heart, Cosmic Christ. Okay, so this is weird. This is card number 9, which is about sort of 9s to me represent kind of personal completions. This Hermit card is the 9th card of the Major Arcana. This is card number 27. Again, a 9, guys. We had this yesterday with the 17 and 17 of the star and then the card that came out. The cards are trying to tell us things are lining up. Maybe it's this sort of new moon energy in Aries. It's all about new creation and being in alignment with who we are, where we're at, versus fighting against, or resisting who we are, having negative perceptions or feelings about who we are. There's that phrase on RuPaul's Drag Race, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else? And I really kind of feel like that's what this is about. These cards to me feel like this is about acceptance of ourselves first and foremost, acceptance of our own light. We see it here and we also see it here. Flaws and all, and from there we're able to better relate to the world, this little city in here, and project out into our experience, right? A more truer version of who we are, a more higher evolved version of who we are, and we're less rocked and affected by the things that are going on around us. We're requiring ourselves to center within ourselves amidst sort of the chaos. The Devil card underneath this doesn't bother me quite so much, because I think what it is it's just that. It's sort of the chaotic nature of life in general, trying to challenge us and throw us off course. The Hermit has too much depth and is too grounded and too sort of spiritually aware to allow that to happen. When we have this Cosmic Heart, Cosmic Christ, it attaches us in a way not only to ourselves and our own heart and our own true feelings, but also then to our higher self, and thus to the world around us, right? And so I think that there's a real beauty in today's cards, again, sort of mirroring what we saw in yesterday's cards, that are telling us that we can have some rather profound, not only learning experiences about ourselves, but also about the world around us, and maybe shift and change in significant ways exactly how we interact or move throughout our world. So let me look to read you the Lightworker Oracle invocation. Sorry, I'm moving quickly. My dog her ear has gotten inflamed again, and she's getting surgery this morning. It's kind of a crazy morning. You are elevating your vibration towards the frequency of limitless supply and unconditional love. Spiritually, you are reaching for a high level of attainment. Past pain and self-defeating behaviors shall no longer have a place in your heart. Now, that past pain and self-defeating behaviors shall no longer have a place in your heart. The past pain and self-defeating behaviors are that devil energy that underpins this, that we saw on Sunday. So if you are facing some things that make you a little bit uncomfortable, that's okay. You're exactly where you need to be. Face them. You have the strength of your own internal guidance, your own hermit, your own awareness to sort of educate yourself through this. No one is perfect. The invocation is, I call on the unconditional love of the Christ in the form of Christ consciousness, the sacred, peaceful, kind, and generous nature of my own heart, I open to receive an abundance of loving kindness from the universe in unlimited forms of blessing. I allow myself to give and receive freely. All that I want and need comes to me in accordance with the loving intelligence of divine timing. I feel much gratitude in my heart for the loving blessings and grace of the universe. May the light and love of the true Christ bless the hearts of all living beings, bringing peace, joy, and divine love through my own free will, so be it. Now, let's look to the grounding stone really quick. Remember, the grounding stone too for this week, underpinning this, is that grounding stone of happiness. So, also that should be our goal today. Not letting go of that. Now, this is on carnelian, which is associated with the root chakra, our first chakra, the base chakra, which is where we ground from, and the word is knowledge. I think this is about self-awareness and self-knowledge, gaining that knowledge through doing the sort of moment, taking 5 to 10 minutes today to just sit with oneself and do an inventory of where are we at spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, and without any judgment. And gaining that knowledge and allowing ourselves that sort of wide berth and grace to just be where we're at and to learn from that, to be in acceptance of that. The knowledge of that and grounding in this self-knowledge or this self-exploration allows us to be more aware and accepting again of ourselves, which allows us to also be accepting and loving towards others, which we see in that cosmic heart, cosmic Christ card. These nines here, this 9-9, which also makes an 18, which makes a third 9. Actually, if you think about it, you add 9 and 9 together, that's 18, which is again a 9. Is pretty, it's telling us, like, let's get maybe beyond some of the past pains and hurts, the things that might be haunting us a little bit, and free ourselves a little bit. And we can free ourselves, what do they say? Knowledge can be that sort of, that key to that freedom, that self-knowledge, that self-awareness, and that self-acceptance are all very powerful medicine. That is your daily forecast. Please hit the thumbs up button. Join me tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. Take care. Bye-bye.